ordinance is going to be an introduction of the ordinance for the increase in water rates, water and sewer rates, utility rates.
Okay. This has been something right here that has been one of my pet peeves since I came on the council. And when I came on, one thing about it wasn't about increasing rates on constituents. But you know, at certain times, when things happen over time, things happen and put us in a situation. And I've stood beside it since I've been here almost 12 years. And this is one of those issues right here that the city has been so far behind the times. The last time that we did have a water rate increase was when we had the new tower that's over by the Terry Wallace Park that we did, and when we amended those rates, some mistakes was done in there that wasn't done right. For us to continue to have the things that we have in Winsboro with our water, which is crucial and vital important to us, when you look at where I coach and teach at in Tensas Parish, you see the issues that they're having. We don't want those issues here. And one thing that we have problems with, if we have something that goes out with a pump or something goes out with some piping or wells, we have to have money. When you go to USDA say, hey, we'll lend you money on certain things, but you have to have also money set aside for us to lend you money in reserve, just in case something does happen. Right now, the rates that we're at, we are so behind almost every city that's right in this area where we're at. So that is the reason why we have pushed to that. The rates that we're looking at are increasing to, from the residents, at 2,000 gallons. The old rate at 2,000 gallons was basically $15. If you use 2,000 gallons of water, for every 1,000 that you went over, say you use 3,000, it was $2.50 added. With the new rate we're looking at for the residential, for 2,000 gallons, it would be $18, or $6 increase. For every 1,000 that you go over, it will basically be, for every 1,000 gallons that you go over, it will basically be $3, so it will be a 50 cents increase. So you're looking at there $6.50 on the increase on that. On the sewer for the commercial was basically for $2,000, for 2,000 gallons, we're talking about McDonald's, the businesses, the McDonald's, Wendy's and all these businesses. For them, the water rate was, for 2,000 gallons, was $15. For every 1,000 that they went over, it was the same as the residential. It was $2.50. So basically you had for them, on just water by itself was $17, was $17.50. The increased rate on the business would be $40 on 2,000 gallons, and it would also go up $3 per every 1,000 over the 2,000 gallons, which would be a 50 cents increase. On the sewer, on your sewer for the residential, the old fee was there on the sewer for the residential. The old fee right there was hold on one second. The sewer again on the residential was the same, was $15. And if for every 2,000 gallons, and if you went over the 2,000 gallons, basically it was a dollar. I'm sorry, it was $2.10 for every 1,000 that you went over with your sewer. With the new rate for the sewer on the residential, it's gonna stay at $15. But what's gonna go up is every 1,000. What's gonna go up? I'm sorry, it's gonna go from 250 to, from 250 to, from 210 to 250, which is a 30 cents increase, what we're looking at. On the business, it's gonna go from $15 to $40, and again, a 30 cents increase. 30 cents increase is at per 2,000 gallons. And what we're gonna add is gonna be a 3%, a 3% increase, which basically, if you look at a standard water bill, it's gonna be basically like about $33, which will go to $33. We're gonna add a 3% increase yearly. A 3% increase gonna hit you for a standard water bill of 2,000 gallons, will be somewhere along about 93 cents a year of an increase that's added to it per year. And this is what we're looking at of adopting. And also the garbage fee will increase to $3 a month. And the state mandated testing fee will increase to $1 a month. Fees for all meter connections, all residential and for businesses. And the ordinance to increase the rate will become effective next building cycle by the passing of this ordinance. Again, this is not something that we was looking at saying, hey, we're just trying to increase some money, to raise money. What we at right now with our utilities, if something were to go wrong, you know how we manage our water. I know we got a lot of things going on right now with the water bill. It's totally different. This is totally different. This is something right here that is a must that we have to do. I've stood beside for 12 years, said what I wasn't gonna do, but right now, when we went through and we will have a guy who will go through that with the state mandate that we have, what we should be at, we're way below that. So if something went wrong, we want to go out and pull up $100,000 and say, hey, yeah, guess what? You don't have that money in the utility fund, so we can't lend you that amount of money. So this is something that we don't want to do, something we have.
You want to introduce the ordinance?
Yes, sir. Mayor, I'd like to introduce at this time right here, ordinance. What was it?
983, it's at the top of page 983.
Ordinance 983, the increase on the rate, on the water utility rates of increasing. This is just the ordinance. This is not the passing yet. This is just the introducing of the ordinance. And it would have a public hearing, and then it will go before the council, the next council meeting. So this is just the ordinance, introducing it. And I just went over what the changes would be. Okay.
Good, very, very good. It's been properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that unanimously approved.
And you want to amend that second amendment?
And we'll amend it.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Mayor Pro Tem.
It should be,
Well, we need to amend the
to add
agenda.
it. Oh.
Need a motion.
I make a motion to amend the agenda to add the mayor pro tem.
Have a second?
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
Now,
Now,
It's just with me, it's been you've been too, okay? So Ms. Lois.
Kay, have you been?
Oh, you had been? This is Kate, I'm sorry. No, I actually had been.
Yeah, no, I have.
I'm sorry, it's Kate.
I thought you read this bid.
No, no.
I'm sorry.
all right, Kay will be the mayor.
who's the lowest?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Lois next.
The next one.
All right, so the motion is for
Motion
Kay to be.
Kay. The second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I abstain.
Opposed?
No, she just abstained.
This thing is voting.
She was abstained.
This thing is voting for itself. So it
She
passes.
abstained, but she won't vote for herself.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
one more amendment.
Okay, amend the agenda to hire 2 police officers.
Make a motion to amend the agenda to add the hire of 2 police officers to it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Chief?
Mayor, Council, I'd like to get the council approved to hire Adam Baker and Cornell Dole, Winston Police Officer.
Colonel Doyle.
Colonel Dole, that's C-U-R-E-D-A.
Can you say that, I'm sorry, Billy was talking at this.
Adam Baker
And Colonel Doyle.
Dole. Yes.
Have they already certified?
Colonel was for the.
It's so hard trying to find post certified officers. I've been waiting too long, so I'm have to send to the academy.
I understand.
Are they certified? I didn't see.
They're not.
Now, these are actual police officers, this is not staff.
Police officer.
Okay, I made that motion.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Chief?
Thank you, Council.
Airport manager, monthly report, do you have a report for the airport?
I do. He's, Travis is out sick and I told him that I would set in for him if that's okay with the council members, to do that. We have, finalized and going through the final process of, the engineering selection after a long, lengthy debate with, FAA and the Louisiana Department of Aviation. And that will be finalized this week. So that the council has already given the mayor approval to enter into a contract when all of that is completed. So that will be done this week, Mayor, and you'll be able to enter into a contract with the new engineering firm. Also, we do have to let you know at the there's $64,000 plus dollars that is available that for us to draw electronically. And Charlika is putting the paperwork together to do that. That comes to the city, that has been distributed on the airport obstruction removal program. This will close out, to bring you up to date, because of the situations that we went through with the airport obstruction and the engineering fees and to correct some of the problems that we will be entering into with the new engineers to resolve a transition that may enter into a problem. We're going to close out that project as where it is today. And then we will be able to reopen that project and move forward from that point. And putting everything together under the new engineering firm. That way we do not have two engineering firms operating under one project and a previous and have to transfer. So we're going to do that. We're going to enter into a closeout project. You will be receiving that shortly as soon as she gets the money back from the FAA. And we will do a closeout letter on that project, and then and the new engineers will start on the and pick up from where they left off to complete that project. Airport is doing real well. We have, I think Travis had told me that we have 4 new based aircraft, which should bring us over 20 based aircraft at the airport. I know that there's some problems that we've all encountered, not only with just the airport, but everywhere else, is the rain and getting around and keeping the equipment to where we can keep it mowed and things of that nature, but they're addressing those issues. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be more than happy to try to address it for you.
I make a motion to accept their court manager's report.
And I know I didn't do as good a job as Travis would have done, so, but I've got.
We properly moved to accept.
Second.
And second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Okay. Code enforcement.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Total lots for the month of June that we mowed was 17. 1 demolition of a house, 3 electrical permits, and 1 gas permit. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept.
I have a question. Mr. Thomas,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a house on Earl Drive that's been vacant for, well, almost a year. Have you looked at it over there?
The one that's been burned,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. Someone is in process of purchasing that house, to see could they remodel it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite pleasure?
I make a motion that we accept the code enforcement money for.
I second it.
Properly moved and second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Public Works monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As Bill Cobb said, we are interested in mowing, keeping everything mowed as best we can. Weed eated and sprayed. These little pop-up showers kind of putting a little damper on things sometimes, but we're getting there. We've got the tire recycling place cleaned up, ready to go. Starting this week, myself and Patrick will be working on getting the lead and copper samples that we have to do every 3 years. This is a new thing for him. He's never had to do this before, so I'm having to take the time and spend with him to show him how to do all this on these samples. We just finished this weekend with Miss Lois's domestic violence awareness event over there at Cherry Wallace Park. Had a very good turnout for it. And coming up on August the 13th, we're having the Rhythm and Rue. It was going to be there at the parking lot by the big flag over here, there and on Common Street. They're going to have some vendors set up and I think have a dance and first one thing another there that night. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. What is your pleasure?
I would like to accept the, what are we doing? Public Works monthly report. And I would also like to, if I can,
Yes.
to thank the city for what they did for the domestic violence awareness.
Thank you.
It was very successful.
I'm glad it was. Thank you. We note that for the record that you personally thank him for the outstanding job that was done, sir.
My guys are the ones that did the work. I was just there to oversee, but they were the ones that did the work.
And you second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Fire Chief monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Calls run by Westboro Fire Department, June 2016. We had one private dwelling out of town, that makes one for the year. No mobile home fires. We had one vehicle fire in town, one out of town, makes 2 for the year. Trash, brush, and rubbish, we've had 4 out of town, unknown number for the year. See, it's blank. One rescue call out of town. Machinery, apartments, motels, public assemblies, schools, hospitals, nursing homes, and businesses, no calls for the month of June. We had 3 helicopter assist here in town, 1 fire alarm here in town for the year. No storage calls. We provided 1 medical assist service, that'd be 1 for the year here in town. No hazardous materials or mutual aid calls. We've installed 4 smoke detectors here in town, gave out countless others. That's 4 for the year, looks like. No fireworks or false alarms noted or miscellaneous. The totals for the year in town are 10 calls for the month, 7 out of town, 17 for the year. 65 year to date, 17 calls this month, total of 82 calls. All our equipment inventory has been kept current. The equipment test we're conducting, make sure everything's working. All meetings are conducted with approval of the mayor's office. LSU training are still held every few weeks all over the parish, and we've been trying to keep station trucks clean daily as you like. That's all I have.
Would you include in your report the 5th District?
That's what I was about to say. One more thing to add, Council, also, we have took delivery on a newer used fire truck for District 5, so we will not be running our town trucks down as much anymore. Still in talks, everything, that will be fully funded by the police jury, and it's gonna be a big help. And we're in the process now of getting everything done we put it in service.
And is it true that you will be seeking volunteers to operate District 5?
Well, that's gonna be the District 5 board and that, you know, they're waiting on the millage to pass here in November. That's the telltale sign there. But as of right now, we're gonna have a police jury truck funded by the police jury unlike years past and be able to run out of our station and help District 5 like we have been. But everything, they're kind of waiting on that millage to pass, and then they're gonna figure out, you know, where the money from that, put the stations, and then volunteer drives, and everything there.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
I move that we accept, did you ask,
Excuse me?
did you ask for a motion? I move that we accept the fire marshal's report.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Police monthly report. Police chief monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor Council. Before I give my report, I would like to have just a moment of silence just for the police officer that got killed down in Baton Rouge, if you don't mind. Thank you, Mayor Council. For the month of 6/20/16 to 7/17/16, criminal charges we had 58. For the year it's 262. Traffic charges was 31. For the year 411. Highway accidents is 9. Parking lot accidents is 5. Total 14. Call for search for the year so far is 665.
Chief, I have just one question. I don't see any watering on here. Do you think that maybe we need to force that a little bit? Tomorrow,
Well,
watering around?
What are you talking about? Is that a specific place you're talking about?
Pardon?
Your specific place that you're talking about?
Just at the different convenience stores.
Okay, on that issue, Mr. We only, if they don't have signs up there, they have to call them. They have to have a sign saying, "Oh, Lord," I'm gonna be honest with you, at these stores, the owners in the store let those people sit out there. So, you know, when you go there, we don't wanna just run them off. We actually wait for the owners to tell us they don't want that. And to be honest with you, you pack it, and when grab was open, they let those people sit and spit. Even if you pack it on this end, they just let them sit out there. Now, if they got a problem with it, then we got a problem. But until they tell us they got a problem, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have a problem with it. You know, if they call, we gonna address the issue, but so far, they let the people say that. Yeah, it's private, you know, it's private owned, so, you know, it's really, their call.
Chief, the question that I'm gonna address with you on this, and I'm also gonna address the rest of the council, I don't know if you have thought, if this has entered our thought, I know while we had a lot going on. You know, I've been on this council through two, what I would say, tragic events that has happened to police officers. You remember the first tragic event that involved a female police officer with the car what we had, with what that came out with the city. Right. When that happened. Right. And you remember on the deal here, that's when I first learned that the city only carried liability on our unit. We didn't carry full coverage. And we lost the police car and we had to replace it. And we have had a tragic event, another one has screwed the city of Winsboro. Right. With one of the cars, one of the young men that we lost, right. With Mr. Derek Mingo. Again, I know we hadn't thought on that, but that is also with the chief that lost a unit that we have to replace. Right. And I know we hadn't spoke of that. And I think it's time to speak of that now. Yeah. We've hired 2 officers. We just hired, we're getting his unit, his numbers up with his people. But we have to replace that unit. A question that I didn't ask them years ago, I just took it as they told me. And nobody explained it to me. Maybe Mr. Cobb, you can explain this to me. Why do we have to carry only liability? We can't carry full coverage on our unit? that wouldn't put us in a predicament like this right here if we lost a unit?
You can get full coverage if you'd like to, but because of the situation that you're in, most of the vehicles that are there, they're in hazardous type instances and situations, and the coverage is very high, and it's a lot better over a long period of time for you to be self-insured on your own equipment if something was to happen. Yeah, you know, if we had been paying insurance for the last 10 years, for an example, full coverage on collision coverage on the vehicle, we could have probably paid for 2 vehicles, maybe 3, because of the high rates that are there. And that's why you do that. And then it's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot more efficient and effective if the town covers that. Certainly, we don't want to see that situation happen to one of our vehicles or an employee that is out there to get in a major accident. But that's, the city council needs to take that into consideration and look at that, and I agree with you.
This is what I thought of, you know. You got like the Tahoe we got up there. That's like a 30, right at a $40,000 vehicle. You know, I always, now I can understand, I always look at it, I can understand not carrying full coverage on those Crown Vics. Actually, I actually have 3 vehicles right now that's it's really reliable. The Crown Vics I got, they're 07s. Actually, they there, but they're not really, you know, they're not reliable at all. So actually right now, I'm down to 3 good vehicles. What I was saying before that is, I always look at, and I could be wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong, but the deal is, I feel like if you got a $40,000 vehicle, why not carry full coverage on a $40,000 vehicle? Because if that vehicle, you know, until they get to the point where it's not worth carrying full coverage on. I see not carrying full coverage on a vehicle that's 13, 14, 15 years old. But then, when you get a $40,000 vehicle, and once you get under the wheel, it get told, you just lost $40,000 just that quick. And the town has to come up to $40,000 to replace that vehicle. But if you had full coverage, it would.
And that's maybe something we need to look at the finance committee. Maybe we can do that for 2 or 3 years on these brand new vehicles.
Yeah,
and then, because they're putting a lot of mileage, then drop that off.
And then when you get a certain age, just try, you know.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. If he buys a $40,000 vehicle today, if we lose that vehicle next week, the city's out of $40 million. And so that's another $40 million we gotta come up with to replace another vehicle. So, you know, when we did it then, I didn't ask questions, young.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but I knew we had to replace it, and they said we had liability, and I was kinda under the impression that, I don't know if it was an LMA thing, this is what we had to do as a city, you know, we didn't carry full coverage. But I think we need to do that for a period. I know we always can drop it, but if we get and I know a vehicle depreciates, 30% when you drive it off the lot, what's the rule of thumb is, almost 30% or 20%. But I think maybe we need to carefully, at least to come up with like a rule of 2 or a rule of 3 years to do it when we buy these brand new vehicles. Because we put an average about how many miles on those vehicles a year? What'd you say?
We're in 20, probably 25, 30,000 miles a year on.
So we have to look at that probably within 3 years, we're looking at somewhere probably about almost 9,000 miles.
Well, I'll say like the Charger we have, they old level. We got over 100,000 miles on them already.
So that's something that we need to look at the finance committee, because
I will look into that. I will look into the price of a police vehicle with full coverage compared to what we have right now, liability. I will say that I haven't spoken with any of the mayors across the area, around the area, and I will do that also. And I will look at the price, and I will honestly give you whether or not that we can afford, you know, to insure, you know, our fleet of police vehicles.
But Mayor, right now, what I'm saying right now is, we need to give him authority now to start looking for a vehicle.
Yeah, I need to
What
get
I'm saying
them
right
right now,
now,
lost.
what I'm saying right now, I know what we're saying, we look at that once we get it, up brand new, put in full coverage. But right now, we need to give him permission right now to start looking for another vehicle. Right now, we got a fleet that's up and in, and we don't have the vehicles.
So by all means, I know,
It's something-
you're talking about the vehicles, and I'm talking about.
Yes, sir, I'm saying.
Insurance, by all means, you know,
That's what I had talked to, that's why I wanted to know about replacing the one that I lost.
of course,
That's what we need to give him.
of course, we'll definitely do that. I was under the impression that you were concerned about,
No, once we get it.
full coverage insurance. You know, I can do two things at once. I can check them both, you know, I can look at the,
Mayor, what I would recommend on that is you need to, if you're gonna do that, you need to go ahead and for the council, my recommendation, just a recommendation for them to authorize you to get with the chief for the purchase of the vehicle and to amend the budget to reflect them when that happens.
That's why I'm going.
But you need to put it on the agenda. You need to amend the agenda to put it on there to get that, just like you do in everything else.
okay.
I make a motion to amend the agenda to add the purchase of a police unit to that unit. And then once we get that unit, once the chief finds the unit that he wants to get, then we come back and make the amendment to the budget to add for that purchasing of that new unit.
I second.
Amend the agenda.
He'll buy it under state contract, I'm sure.
So we just amended it.
Get a motion moved and second to amend the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that unanimously approved.
Mayor, I make a motion now that we give the chief the authority to purchase a new police vehicle, to seek now to purchase a new police vehicle. Once that vehicle, he finds that vehicle that he wants to purchase, I'll make the motion to add also to bring that back before the council so we can make an amendment of the budget. If that's doing a special meeting before the month is out, or if it's a special call, or if it's, I'm pretty sure before the next meeting, before our next regular meeting, to call back before and we have that on a special call to make that amendment to amend the budget, this year's fiscal budget.
Second it.
I would do that, you don't have to go, I will do that, bring it back, you know, to the council. We don't have to get a motion to do so.
You'll find the vehicle.
Yes.
And then get a
Right.
Yeah.
Chief.
Call back.
Yeah, then
Get us back.
Right.
Give them the authority to purchase it.
Now, you're saying new, but what if he goes out and he finds a used?
Whatever,
A good used one.
whatever he gets, we got to amend it to add. So it doesn't matter, whatever he comes back with, we say, I got a used one, this is the price. I got a new one, this is the price. Then we're gonna go from that and make the amendment to the budget from the add purchase. So that's gonna be on him. Right now, the thing gonna be on us is the amendment of the budget to add the money to purchase that unit, used or old.
I'm not,
Whether,
Used or new, I'm sorry.
Mayor,
whether we do it, when I do it, and installments, when I say installments, I mean, maybe 4 installments.
Mayor, can I say something? I'm not considering used vehicle at all. I'm not considering used vehicle at all. I don't want no used vehicle.
And that's on,
That's defeating the purpose.
that's on you, chief.
Right, yeah.
You, that's on,
Yeah.
whatever you come on, that's the deal, that's on.
But as far as the insurance is concerned,
Oh, yeah.
I know you were concerned about that.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I will look and see if it's feasible.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I understand that.
Right.
Say, Lord,
Have we accepted the police chief report?
no, we haven't.
Say so.
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the police chief monthly report.
Been properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Okay. Humane Officer's Mother Report.
Grant County. Before I start, I got a correction on my months for my cats. All of them are zeros, I got to change it out. Adoption, dogs for the month 1, 12 for the year, plain 0. 16 dogs, foster, 31 for the year. 5 deceased, 7 for the year. Now those 5 are all puppies that came in with a group that some of them died last year, and a problem with the vet, so it's not. New pickup for the month, 24, 85 for the year. Total care for 54. Pound of food, 650, 4,000 for the year. Total pen, 34. Total average, 32. 32 is the pen. Total average, 32. Miscellaneous, 3. Total calls, 100. Total dead animal on street, 15. That's all, man.
Make a motion to accept the main officer monthly report.
Properly moved to accept.
And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Economic Development.
Thank you, Mayor. And, council members, to bring you up to date on the farmer's market, with the state, fiscal, situation as it is at the present time, they have, the governor and the administration, division administration, has basically just kind of put a hold on all the release of the fundings, for all the municipalities. I have been in touch contact with Senator Reiser's office and asked them to check in with the Division of Administration with Mr. Eskew, who is the project manager for our farmers market. It has been approved. The fire marshal's review has been approved. It's been submitted to it. They have made partial payment for the engineering and design for that project, and now it's time for them to release the fundings for the construction. I told them that it was vitally important that we get this project moving while the weather is favorable, and not wait until the inclement weather catches us in the fall of the year. As soon as I hear something on that, hopefully I'll hear something this week, I will text each one of you or email you and bring you up to date on that, exactly what the process is to go with that. Appreciate very much the action that you've taken on Franklin Tire and Rubber. Moving forward with that, I think it's going to have a tremendous economic impact on our community as we move forward. The management is in place up there, and they are taking care of the equipment. They have complied with all the requirements that the town has requested for the transfer of the equipment, so they can move forward and get the funding from USDA for the funding to move forward with this. We have entered into a lease agreement with the old Wentworth Tire Rubber Recycling. At the present time, they have paid the lease. They will be submitting us a check that will go into our escrow account, go into our attorney's escrow account for $64,000 for building repairs on the facilities up there, and that will be paid out according to the invoices that is being submitted. We're very pleased. The town, the mayor has had the employees working with the superintendent to help clean up the perimeters of the facility and making it look presentable. They have committed to keep it in good shape as we have with the other businesses and industries that is there. They did contact me with the Delta Community College to let me know that they entered in, had a little problem, with the mold, but they have gotten that issue straightened out and they're correcting that issue. But they asked us to go in and have the parking lot cut. The police jury is going to put down the hard surface for the parking area, on that facility. That was accomplished last week. If I'm not mistaken, the superintendent, we had that area mowed so they can go up there and start as soon as they deem necessary. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or entertain any questions. I don't know if I can answer them or not.
Make a motion to accept the economic property report.
Properly moved
Thank you.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Community Center monthly report. What do you want to have that report? Did she send that report in? Monthly finance report.
Do you have any idea when you put it through? You have any idea what we should pay them?
I think we sent our last batch out last week, so we should be more up to date now. Everything now is current stuff. So, yes, but,
Was not the same as number running. And she made the change and improved. Okay, it's not a change, it's just kind of that. So these numbers do not reflect all of Judy's bills?
they pretty much should, yes. Because we, even the ones we were paying for now, I backdated it to June 30th. So it could get all of the bills that were due for June in June's budget. So those should be almost right on the money, unless we just recently got something in that may, but for the most part, yeah, we should have last big batch, like last week or so. So that should have the expenses. It was, I don't know if they can yet, but it's fixed, it's paid, as far as they do it. Is it working Because it's trade, say it's fixed. Is it still doing the same thing?
It's like
And maybe something's lying.
This finance report does not reflect that the payments for the notes have all been paid for the year, but have they been
The payments for the notes for the loan, yes.
for the utilities?
Yes, it is drafted out. If it's not put in there, it's just not been added, because it's a reoccurring payment, and it kind of, it's a memorized transaction, and it is every month. So maybe when you go in it, somebody
Not
could,
reflect all.
yeah, it may have conflicted. But when I prepared the reports, which was last week, bless you, then we didn't finish mailing out bills until Friday anyway. So there's still some bills that weren't in there for Friday, but like as of now, the bills are put in. But it may not have it on there because I had to do as of June 30th, and that was Wednesday when those went out. This Monday, in fact, I think I finished them Tuesday, the reports, because y'all have to get find out, the week before. So we did a batch of mail Thursday and it went out for Friday that still had June's bills in it, and it was backdated to June 30th. So some of those aren't in that report, but it's in weekly because we didn't cut the check until after those were printed out.
Can we have those in the next council meeting? Can we start picking that up? What cut off is every those bills that we didn't have? And then we have what was paid? Because I know it's the week time we get it, I know we still gotta, at the time that we pay the bills at the end of the month, but we can pick that up. It'll kind of have a little bit of carryover. Here from what, a week, maybe a week, about a week, from the time we have our, time it's cut off.
Whenever we were talking about the budget, you were telling us that you did not anticipate having to make a transfer in June.
Yes.
But you, in reality, ended up not only transferring 150, but you transferred 200,000.
Yes. Because I think in total, there was $114,000 worth of grant money that we have that I was thinking we would be able to draw down on by the end of June. This was in May when I said it, so that's why I was thinking by June, we wouldn't have to draw down any money from
That our license money didn't come in like it was supposed to.
License is close to the, was it 300? It got actually really close to that number. And that's why I went back and changed the budget number, because it actually, I'm sorry. It got really close to the 300,000 that it was budgeted for.
We're still off about $32,000 from where we were. Make sure yeah, that was what I had questioned you, and we were still off a little bit on that.
But not by as much as we had thought when we first recognized it. I think we received like 2 checks right after that. And then also we have a lot of new businesses opening, and we have a lot of peddlers that are being caught coming in to actually turn in money now. So it may make up for that amount with this year, hopefully.
I make a motion to accept the financial report.
Properly moved and second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that finance report was unanimously approved. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Thank you all. Good.